So what we will be doing today is that I will guide you into how to score a centum in geography. Uh, Also, in the centum, as centum, I refer to those who are aiming for a centum. Centum for those who are who are not aiming for a centum but good marks above 90, right? Or so, equivalent to whatever you expect. Uh, First, what I will be doing is, okay, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Parmeshwaran Iyer. I have studied from Green Country Public School, Bangalore. And in the previous year, I've scored 100 in geography. In total, I've scored a 98.2% in my 10th board exam. In geography, the best way to learn geography is not a very big deal as a subject to learn. It is very simple, and scoring a centum is not a huge thing. It's not something that's not achievable. If you have a basic idea and good preparation and strategy, it is quite achievable. Okay, so let's go to this topography. In topography, the important things that you are supposed to learn, right? At the most basic, you are supposed to learn each and every sign and symbol that is available to you on your textbook. Now, in Morningstar, I have been using Morningstar. I'm sure you would also find in other publishers that there in the topography section, you have a list of signs and symbols, right? Those signs and symbols you're supposed to memorize very thoroughly. Spend about 1 or 2 hours dedicated to that. I'm sure most of you will not take a lot of time, but I'm just giving an approximate. Learn the signs and symbols along with their significance. There is a lot of significance to everything, right? There's a significance to dry well, there's a significance to there is a significance to a filled well, there is a significance to a well with which is lined, there is a lot of significance to each and everything. There's significance to a place. If I, for example, let me say there is a river that is discontinuous, right? Then I could say you will just do not learn it as just discontinuous river. Just learn it along with that it represents inland drainage, right? As such, you should learn symbols and their significance together. In most books, you also get these, and this comes up with practice. Also, I would not suggest you to spend a lot of time on topo maps. Topo maps are not that difficult to understand. So practice 2 or 3 topo maps, and that should be more than enough, right? Coming to the maps of India, I would suggest you all to just go to our Instagram page, and if you just scroll down, you will find a post in which we have given you each and every single map that is going to come in the geography exam. So you could refer that, and then you could practice on those maps, right? Next comes part B. In part B, you have questions 3 to 11, each consisting of 10 marks from a single chapter, right? Now, most students, what they do is they are always in a confusion if they have to learn only 5, if they have to learn more than 5, or how it works, right? Now, any smart student, right? Any smart student, I don't mean academically smart, but any smart student is one who knows how to crack an exam. Personally, if it was up to me, I will always choose the easiest of the easiest of how many of the chapters are available, right? So I have listed down the most easy chapters. There are 6 chapters mentioned here. Pick 5 of the easiest that you find, right? Some people may find climate difficult. Leave that. Choose the rest of the 5, but do not go outside this. You have resources, energy resources, you have agriculture. These chapters are too lengthy, right? It's simply a waste of time, and that time which you would probably waste on those chapters, do not waste. Learn the simpler chapters, and in the time that you save, learn other subjects like chemistry, which are extremely difficult and require a lot of time, right? So of these 6 chapters, choose any 5 and start learning. You will find a copy of the Indian map, which will be available on the CISE website, right? Take out that map, print it out, take a few Xerox copies, take a few photocopies, and then what you're supposed to do is practice on the map. Practice, you have the post on our website, not on our website, on our Instagram page, that will always help you and guide you. Be very precise about your locations. It's a job in geography. The only place that students lose marks is in maps. Okay, in maps, it is people just lose marks just because they are too adamant to not practice. They think that they know everything, but it's not so. In maps, the precision in maps just comes over time, and that needs to be developed very carefully, right? That practice, at least there are around 11 different kinds of things that are supposed to be in a map. Okay, there is mountains and peaks, there is plains, there is deserts, rivers, water bodies, passes, latitudes and longitudes, major ones. You have direction of winds, you have distribution of minerals, you have soil distribution, you have cities, and you have population, right? You have all of these on our Instagram page. Replicate the same with your hand and keep on practicing. And that is the very basic key to getting a full marks, full 10 on 10 in map work. In topo maps, now you will have 4-figure grid reference. That doesn't take a lot of time. Then you have contour intervals. You need to know definitions of contour intervals. You will have to identify landforms, right? You will have to identify slopes. You will have to identify their gradient. You will have to identify signs and symbols. All of these you have to learn. What does different colors indicate? Those things you will have to learn. Identification of different types of scales given on the map, right? That is very important. These questions based on scales have been asked over and over the past few years, and these are very important questions, right? Measurement of distance and direction, right? Learn directions, distance. These come over very a little bit of practice. These things you will have to learn. Next, go. You have to identify what kind of settlements, what is site of prominent villages, fairs, and many other things. Okay, from the index that is given to you. And then you have identification of drainage patterns. Drainage patterns, be very clear in identifying them, right? These have also been asked over the years very clearly. They have asked directions of rivers. These are very simple things, basic things that you could, and if you ever come across a doubt, all that you need to do is just go to our ICSE study mate and send us a doubt, and we will answer to you, right? These are very simple things, and you can always score 20 marks in this. When it comes to geography, stick to the syllabus. Stick exactly to the syllabus. Don't stick to your books, right? If I give you an example for the chapter transport, right? In transport, what happens is, in most books, in the book that I used, we had around, we had a few, we had quite a few pages for transport. But in essence, all that the syllabus asks you is the advantage and disadvantage of each transport. And that's it, you're supposed to learn. Do not go and learn what is the length of Delhi, Bombay flyover. All of these are utter waste of time. Stick to the syllabus. The syllabus asks you for advantage and disadvantage. Learn for advantage, for disadvantage, leave it there, right? Be very thorough with what you learn. It is more important to know what you should not learn than what you should learn, right? Do not waste your time in learning unnecessary stuff, then bore out your head and then say that geography is a difficult subject or it is a annoying subject, and so on and so on. Geography is the most easy subject to score in your 10th grade, right? So it can be quite a game changer. Let's say that you get a cumulative of 80% in your other subjects and get a centum in geography. It just rapidly pulls up your score, right? You can at this competitive age, if you're getting in colleges, it's, let's say 11th and 12th, wherever you're joining, the cutoffs are so high and the stakes are too high, right? Every single 0.1% counts, and hence geography, subjects like geography, computers, history, these serve as game changers which can pull up your scores. You can't do anything about English, physics, or chemistry, right? These are subjects which are extremely difficult, but geography, history, computer, these subjects are easy, which can pull up your scores. Concentrate on these and try to get a center, right? Then provide time to memorizing info, right? Learn info. For example, let me just read out your syllabus. Let's take soil resources, right? In soil resources, you have 4 soils. All that they are asking is distribution, composition, characteristics such as color, texture, minerals, and crops grown. Learn that much very clearly. Tomorrow, if I ask you what kind of what is the texture of black soil, you're supposed to say. What is the composition, you're supposed to say. If I ask you what crop, you're supposed to say cotton is grown, sugarcane is grown, right? You're supposed to say that by heart, and it's not very difficult to learn, right? Can we have the next slide? Next slide. Okay. As stated before, stick to the very basic of the syllabus. Your syllabus states this much, learn only that much. Most textbooks provide too much of information. Hold your syllabus book in one hand or keep it on your computer screen. Read. If it says soil erosion causes, learn 4 causes and memorize that. Then leave it. If you have 10 causes, leave 10 causes, learn only 4 causes. Okay? Learn 4 causes perfectly. Next, go prevention and methods of prevention and conservation and so on and so on. Learn 4, leave it. Because what I'm saying is your ICSE examination has a pattern of 2-2-3-3. If you go to any question, there will be 2-2-marker questions and 2-3-marker questions, right? For a 3-marker questions, you're supposed to write 3 exact points. So in case you forget one, I'm telling you to learn 4. If you're very sure of your memory, learn only 3 and save your time and your effort. Right? Stick to the very basics of the syllabus. Do not waver out of the syllabus. Learn the easiest chapters. I've told you this chapters. I hope that you mark those chapters. Learn 5 out of them and score your center. Next, geography is completely based on memorization. There's not much of what you could understand, right? If I say airways are costly as a disadvantage, there's nothing much to research upon that or anything. It's just a bare fact. Learn that. But geography also uses quite a lot of common sense, right? Do not be a, what's the right word? I don't know the right word, but do not be a guy who sticks exact word to word from the textbook, right? Use your common sense a bit. Do not, if you forget a point from the textbook, think if you can make a point which is appropriate, right? In most cases, if I say uses of forests or advantage of forest, importance of forest, so and so on, do not stick to the textbook definition. There are more things that you could provide to the answer. That I've seen quite a lot of students, or juniors, seniors, my classmates, many people who tend to stick to the textbook, and if they forget what to write, they start panicking. Oh damn, I forgot what was in the textbook. You don't need to exactly write what's in the textbook. Hold keywords in your head, make out your own points, and succeed, right? It's very easy. 2 marks, 2 points. That's all you have to write. 3 marks, 3 points. Go 4 points if you're not sure. They will pick up your best 4, best 3, right? Can we have the next slide? Make tables. This is the most important thing in geography. I'll give you an example. Let's say soil resources again. Soil resources, you have 4 types of soils and you have certain things that you're supposed to learn. For example, characteristics. Make a table with the 4 soils on one side and 4 soils in one column, and each characteristic like distribution, composition, crops grown, texture, everything on one row, and make a table. Make comparative analysis, right? I have to learn the difference. What is the best part is that by doing such, by doing so, you will avoid learning unnecessary stuff. You will be pinpoint, and the best part is if you do comparative analysis using tabular columns, even if there's a question based on differentiate two things, you will remember your table and you will do it, right? And as such, in most chapters, let's take soil resources, you can have transport. uh, for agro-based industries, I wouldn't suggest learning that, but for that also you could do comparative analysis. For forests, you could do, for vegetations, you could do comparative analysis, right? If you're going to learn mineral energy resources and so on, you could do comparative analysis. I wouldn't suggest the same, but I'm just stating out that you could do so many things with comparative analysis. Just 2 or 3 tables, it doesn't take a lot of time. Print them out or keep them on your system and start learning from the tables, because geography is a very condensed syllabus. They just want point to point answers, right? One point answers, just a word will do most of your things, maybe a sentence. And hence, tabular column way of learning is the best way of learning. I have done it myself and it has always helped, right? Do not do unnecessary work. Do not keep reading the textbook, unnecessary information, and lose out on your time, which I'll be stressing on further also. Make sure that you study your 5 chapters thoroughly. That is most important, right? It is not that I say you learn 5 chapters and leave 2 or 3 of the others, which will not which will not help you, right? When I say learn 5 chapters only, I specify that you learn 5 chapters thoroughly, word to word. You have to learn. That is, if I have in my syllabus soil resources, let's take a different. I don't know why I'm so addicted to soil resources, right? If I take waste management and it says need for waste management, learn 4 points of need for waste management perfectly, and that is very important. If I say methods of disposal, segregation, dumping, and composting, learn each and every one perfectly, all points that is required perfectly. If I say needs and methods of reducing, reusing, and recycling, learn perfectly all points that could help you in such a thing, right? Do not do the half work, because there is no use of learning half. Geography is a subject that can pull up your marks so drastically with such minimum effort from your side. So do that. Can we have the next slide? Practice maps. Oh, this is very important. Practice them. Do not take out your textbook which has the maps given and just go through them and go sit in the hall. That is the most stupidest thing you could do, right? अपनी पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मारना इसे ही कहते हैं. So do not do stupid stuff. Things that are easy should be done, and they should and you're supposed to exploit the most benefit out of them, right? Do not simply be lazy. Learn, practice maps, practice political maps very clearly. Do it thrice, do it 4 times, do it 10 times. It doesn't matter. It will help in the end, right? After learning a particular chapter, try solving all previous year questions that came from that chapter, right? Because it's very easy to navigate. For example, climate questions always come in question number 3 in the question paper. Just pick out your 10-year book, shift, see climate questions, question number 3, answer each and every question, compare them with the answer key, and uh, at the time you do 5 or 6 previous year question papers of that chapter, right? Of that chapter, if you do all the questions related to that chapter of the previous year question papers, let's take five previous year question papers. If you're able to do it perfectly, and at that point you can say, I am done with this chapter and 10 of this chapter is in my pocket, right? That is what you're supposed to do. Also, an important point I will like to highlight here is that people think analysis of student performance, which is available on the website, is just a waste of time. let me stress on this, it is not a waste of time. By looking into the analysis which is available in the council's website, you gain insight on what the council considers a valid point, right? You get to know for what things the council gives you marks. You also get to know what is the invigilator looking at for in your paper. And the most important thing, you also get to know what mistakes are done. They also state what are the common mistakes that are done by students, and hence you will know what not to do, right? Next, can we have the next slide? Aditi, can we have the next slide? Okay, we have come to FAQs. So before FAQs, would I like to raise any other points? Okay, when it comes to solving papers for geography, right? I personally never practiced model papers or previous year papers as such, because geography didn't require me to do that. But if you're an average student, below average student, right? Or if you score between 80s and 90s, if that is your percentage, then, or let me just generalize, if you're below 90%, this is what you're supposed to do. Once you're done, I told you till week 5, right? I told you till map work on week 5. Go from week 6 to week 10. Do one paper per week in real time. You find model question papers. I personally like Goyle Brothers, right? Goyle Brother Publications has amazing model question papers. Pick out a paper from there, solve it in real time. That is, in 2 hours, finish that paper. Take a timer. Imagine you're writing an actual exam. Close your room and solve the paper for 2 hours. Next, what you're supposed to do, you will find answer keys to the same paper. See the answer key, see what you have written, see what mistakes you have made, analyze that, and that is where you succeed. The success lies more in your analysis of your mistakes. Most people do not, most people do the paper, just do the paper, leave it there. That only at max improves your speed, but in geography you actually don't need a lot of speed. You have 2 hours for 1 hour work stuff, right? It doesn't take more than 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes to solve a geography paper. You have plenty full time. So your most important thing is to solve a paper and then analyze your mistakes. Analysis is the very basic key that you will have to use to get a centum in geography, right? Solve from week 6 to week 10, 5 model question papers, analyze them. In case you're not able to do it, just approach your teacher, right? Your teacher would be more than happy. They would be just more than happy to solve all your issues. Solve a paper clearly, neatly, give it to them, ask sir or ma'am, can you please correct this and tell me where I have gone wrong? And they will be more than happy to do that, right? Do that, that will be very beneficial. Coming to the FAQs. How many chapters should I learn? I've already stated this before. Let me specify this. Do not get tensed, right? The CISE defines a syllabus very clearly. They define a syllabus which says you are supposed to learn so and so points. Learn only that, right? The council also uploads specimen papers. I hope each and every one of you have seen sample question papers on the ICSE website. It's under publication bar, right? Under publication bar, you will find sample papers. If you scroll down, you'll also find student analysis. These things, if they have posted a specimen paper, that is exactly what they are going to follow, right? That is the exact blueprint. You can be 100%, you can be 101% sure that questions come in so and so manner. Learn 5 chapters, minimize your effort, maximize your output, save your time, learn other subjects which are more difficult, are more time intensive, and so on, right? Do not waste your time. Time is quite precious. You have 10 to 12 weeks left. These 10 to 12 weeks channelize your energy very well, right? How do I score 95 plus? Again, as stated, geography is such an easy subject. Even if you score 50s to 60s in the other subjects, scoring 100 in geography is not a big deal. You just need to follow the correct approach. Think about how you're supposed to write in the exam, learn how you want to write in the exam, right? If you want 100, I have stated over the session, I have stated how you're supposed to learn in the exact same manner. And I will assure you that 100 is within your reach. If you have any other doubts, please mail us on our email ID or send it on our Instagram account or on Telegram. We have a lot of channels, and hope that you like the session. Thank you. And put out a comment on our ICSE website and spread the word of sessions being conducted. We'll be conducting more sessions. Thank you.